The only real failure in life is to not be a saint. Someone much wiser and holier than me said that, but it's worth reflecting on. The only real failure in life is to not be a saint. Welcome to the first installment of Questions of Faith, a series that we're doing here at St. Katharine Drexel to help answer our questions of faith and help us all grow together in the understanding of our beautiful Catholic faith. And today, I want to talk about the process of becoming a saint, or what we sometimes call the process of the canonization of saints. And it begins, the first thing that a saint has to do is they have to die. Now that seems pretty obvious, but when I mean die to self, die to this world. The first thing for someone to become a saint is first to be alive for Christ and to die to this world. And once they've done that, eventually they're mortal and they die. And then 5 years after that, the beginning of the process of canonization can begin. And once that begins, you are called a servant of God. And it begins in the local church. And it's a thorough examination of their entire lives. Everything they've written, everything that they've talked about, all their witness statements and how they've lived their life, all of that kind of is investigated. And once the local church feels like this is now someone, this servant of God is ready for the next stage of canonization, then all this information is sent to the Congregation for the Canonization of Saints over in Rome. And then all that information and even more examination takes place. And eventually it comes down to 9 theologians who will vote on if this person, this servant of God, is ready for the next stage in the process of canonization. Once a majority of those 9 theologians have voted, then it goes through another investigation by a series of bishops and cardinals, eventually leading into a declaration that they are now venerable. And so a venerable is someone who is now on the next step on their journey towards canonization. The servant of God has become venerable. Now, how do you go to the next stage? It takes a miracle, literally and figuratively. It takes a miracle that is investigated in detail to make sure that it is of divine origin and that it is a foolproof sign that this venerable person is in the presence of God and interceding for us on our behalf. And so once that miracle happens, that first miracle, then that saint or soon-to-be saint becomes blessed. And then guess what? They need another miracle. And the second miracle is what then will lead to the canonization of someone as a saint for the universal church. So that's the process of canonization. You'll see behind me, we've got St. Katharine Drexel, our dear beloved patroness of our church, and her great love for the Native American and African American, especially children, but for Catholics, has led her to be so fervent in her mission and ministry to Native Americans and African Americans. And so to her right is venerable, and now you know what that word means, venerable Mother Mary Lang, a Baltimore saint, dear to our hearts, who started the first African American order for religious women. And we are praying desperately for her intercession and that she could be raised to the altars and be canonized a saint, along with 5 other very holy men and women, African American Catholics, that we pray can be a great representation of who we are as Americans, especially in this month of November, where we remember the dead, we pray that we can all be saints, and it is also Black Catholic History Month. So thank you for joining us for the first Questions of Faith series, and hope for much more to come. God bless you.